Mrs. Albanese, I would like you to tell us, how do you maintain your optimism?
You shouldn't give too much credit to my perpetual smile, because it's a grin. And it's the official expression that is there to hide the real sentiment, which is profound dismay at what humanity is and what we have become somewhat. But have we really become that? No, I think we've always been capable of the worst. And so it's not real optimism, it's hope that we wake up and we pull the brake and veer toward another path. Because the suffering that this genocide has ignited will spread and will continue to spread, not just in Gaza, in the West Bank, in Israel, to the region, and it's not going to stay there. So we really need to understand that this must be the last crime that Israel commits against the Palestinian. The Palestinians have always been humans trapped in a laboratory where technologies, weapons, surveillance systems have been tested on people like you and me and sold like battlefield proven. And this trade must end, these profits must end. This is why I think we need to understand that we are all connected.
Can you tell us more what is happening in Gaza right now with civilians? We know that Israel blocked access to Gaza for international journalists. So we have different information from different platforms.
Yeah, the situation in Gaza is apocalyptic. Gaza has always been a ghetto. In the sense, Gaza is the place where 75% of the refugees or the descendant of the refugees from the creation of the State of Israel have been unmasked. There is a population of there was a population in October 2023 of 2.3 million people, half of whom were children. So when Israel started that war that looked catastrophic since the very beginning, as they were going after anything and anyone, any individual with artificial intelligence and bombing mosques, churches, universities, huge residential areas, it was clear that it was something else. Even if we wanted to use the term war, it was not a war. It was the intention behind it was fully destructive and genocidal. 650 days later, where are we? An entire Gaza Strip that has been turned almost entirely to rubble, where people are starving, for real. There have been cases of malnutrition reported since November, December 2023, but now for 3 months, nothing, serious, nothing that can be called humanitarian aid has entered the Gaza Strip. So people are dying, not just as they are bombed, and Israel kills by bombs and sniper an average of 70, 100 people. There have been days in which Israel has killed 600 people or 300 people since March this year. So it's incredible. The Gaza has become a slaughterhouse, and it seems that it's unstoppable. And this is my shock and my grin, how it's possible. All the more there is an absurd that is called Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which in fact is a joint criminal enterprise between Israel and the United States, where they are relying on soldiers and private contractors to starve the Palestinians, not to feed, to starve the Palestinians and kill them while starving. So again, this is it's a monstrosity of rarely seen proportions in our lifetime.
After the genocide in Srebrenice in 1995, world said never again. But we see killed civilians again. How is it possible that United Nations don't have united opinion on what is going on in Gaza and why they don't do anything?
Good question. I think that the UN has some scenes from which it will hardly recover. Srebrenica and other places in Bosnia are ones, but also what is done in Somalia and other places, or in Rwanda. So it's clear from Rwanda, Bosnia, and Gaza that the UN doesn't speak when a genocide happens. And this is why people look at me with such a sense of respect, because this time there is someone from within the UN saying that, and I'm not alone, huh? Because now the Commission of Inquiry has concluded that Israel has committed acts of genocide, particularly by preventing birth and creating the conditions to prevent birth. The Special Committee on Israeli Practices, which is a body made of UN ambassadors, has concluded that Israel is committing genocide. Again, the ICJ has set out 3 sets of provisional measures. Israeli Israeli historians and other genocide scholars have agreed. Amnesty International has published a 300-page report, and so forensic architecture, providing forensic evidence. It's not that they don't know. They know that Israel is committing genocide. And I can tell you, I've not met one diplomat in the last 3 months which has had the nerve to tell me, no, it's not genocide. They don't say that publicly, because if they say that, then they need to take measures. Instead, what is Europe doing is continuing to trade with Israel. It's even renewing that monstrosity, that disgrace that is the EU association agreement. So, what do we need to understand the moral corruption and the legal problems that this state of affairs entails? This is the Europe we have right now. And I keep on saying it. The founding fathers and mothers of the European Union are turning themselves in their grave today, because the European Union has become an excuse not to abide by international law. Because your state, my state, have an obligation to act to prevent genocide, which would at least imply to send a navy with humanitarian aid, real humanitarian aid, nurses, doctors, counselors, and food, baby formula, and tents, and portable toilets. So, no, instead, everyone is watching.
Why is it so important for you to say that what is happening in Gaza is a genocide? We know that there is an open debate about whether we can call it a genocide if there are no courts which established that.
Forget my reports. The International Court of Justice in January 2024 recognized the plausibility of genocide, recognized the irreparable harm that Israel was causing under the Genocide Convention to the Palestinians. This was the moment that let the Genocide Convention kick in, because it doesn't matter if we are 100% sure or not that this is a genocide. I mean, people in Bosnia understand it very well, because it doesn't matter how people call it. It's what it is. It's how it stinks and how it looks like and what it does to people that require a response. Because clearly there are human rights violations, war crimes, and crimes against humanity that must be stopped. But why it's important to call genocide? Because the Genocide Convention imposes an obligation to prevent. And since the ICJ recognized that risk, and this has been established in the Bosnia versus Serbia jurisprudence, when a state has reasonable information to believe that genocide is being committed, it must use all its influence to stop it. Instead, Western countries and others, what are they doing? They are providing weapons, political cover, and they let it go, even allowing some to profit from it.